Looks like a motorbike.
Oh, it's a scooter.
Scooter.
Alright, not looking too much to do at the moment. It's a bit late in the day. It's almost beer o'clock time actually. So I just wanted to do a couple wee things. I realised by looking at other photos of scooters that actually there's a bracket that goes there that looks awfully like this. That's probably important. And I'll put the gear linkage thing on as well. There's another thing that I'm not exactly happy with, and that's what I've done here for these guides is I've just used a bolt with the thread sort of rubbed away a bit, you know, like sanded down. But I've actually got some rod that I'll use, and I'll just put washers and split pins in there. So that's pretty good. It's a bit messy under here because I've just fired it up, but I won't do that again. But I might give you a little video of it. So I've got my rod here, so we'll just chop that to size, drill some holes through it, and Bob's your uncle. Done the spacing on that quite well actually. And that will reduce a lot more slack, because before we've just got this which is ground down a little bit, it's uneven, it's going to wear the inside out in that hole, so this will be a lot better. Works way better. Right, so I think I figured out the electronic situation. We've got these two bits here. The right one is the light switch, so it goes up into that hole there, and this one on the other side. And because of the way this is shaped, makes me think it comes down the right hand side here, and through the floor and up into here somehow. And I've had a little look underneath. It's real hard to tell, so you're gonna have to just trust me, but there's some holes here and further down the frame. So I think we can route it down from in here. Probably, I don't know. I wonder if these are around backwards. That would make life easier. If that should be on the other condenser. So maybe I need to swap that round so that sits on that condenser, and then it'll just float right down there. And then I've had a look at some other photos, and basically it comes underneath. It sits sort of behind this cowling here, and pops out to the front through here. And there's a concave shaped thing, whatever it is, and then it can come up here pretty easily. Okay, so it's the next day, so today we're going to get this harness in the right place, so we'll move that to that side and route it through. The other things I wanted to do is I've got the engine oil dipstick here. I wanted to paint that just because it's a bit rusty. Also, I've noticed that this nut here is a bit rusty too, so I might take that off, try and tidy that up. I've also got these guys here. Now these guys have already been painted, and I think the white would look good on the side of them, so I might do them white again, but there's a few areas which are unpainted at the moment. Whack on some primer and paint these. You see now we've got this now on the right side of the bike. The old tape here has pretty had it, so just gonna replace that. The problem here is I think this should be routed through here, but these things are quite big and they're obviously not going to fit through there. So I think I need to do this the other way around. I need to start off with these in the top section and then have the end cables just route them through. And I think that should make it a lot easier. Alright, now I've got that rewired properly, I've got that back with the condensers. Now we've got the spaghetti out the headlamp, which is what we want as progress. So obviously this switch here will just go into this slot here, and the one that's sitting on the left side, right on the camera, will sit in that slot in there. Once this is turned around a bit, it'll sit in there. But yeah, you can see how that comes down under here, and we follow through into the floor. There'll be a little thing so this can pass through on the floor, and it just comes round and up the side up here. Another job that I wanted to do, or I need to do, is make another one of these guys. Now this guy sits inside this part here, basically just gives a seating so that it gives the cable something to push against so you can actually move the inner cable through. So I've got one of these, which is great. You know, it's great, but the only problem is I need two of them. We've got this giant bit of plastic here, and it's reasonably thick. It so happens to be pretty much the thickness that we need for this. So the plan is sort of drill these holes. We'll drill right through a small one in the first bit, so we can get right through there. And then we'll drill the bigger hole in there, and we'll cut this out, and we can file in those edges, cut down through that edge there as well, and we should have a bit that pretty much works. Right, so this is the bit that I've got now. The dimensions look fairly close. So what's next? I can hear you. Your burning questions. What's next? Well, I do have some steel to make up a door for this. And same goes for the floor. Probably the headlamp and finish off the wiring, put the switches physically in there.